outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Wrestling with Books. My name is Nina, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the free ebooks I have accumulated in the past few weeks, because I have to give it a cutoff point because I've never done this before. I certainly can't tell you about all of them forever, but I am a large ebook reader. As somebody who has a problem with things, I find being able to utilize an e-reader and a Kindle is fantastic for me. I love the functionality of it in terms of how I read, because I like to read in bed at night, or when I used to commute to work and work in an office atmosphere, I loved having the Kindle on my lunch break and I wouldn't have to like eat and hold down the book. There are three ways I get my ebook. So first is from a library. I do the digital ebook service on the library. The second is from Amazon, and I did want to give a little disclaimer about that because I do try to support independent bookshops when I buy books. When I buy print books, that is. So when I'm buying print books, I use a site called bookshop.org, and your order gets fulfilled by an independent bookstore. If you have an independent bookstore that you know of or support, I'm sure you could look on their website to see if they have some sort of online ordering function where you could go straight from them. So for ebooks, it's not as easy to do that, and it's a personal choice of mine to utilize Amazon. Though I have to say, a lot of the ebooks I get, because I rent so much from the library, I'm only getting them on Amazon if they're $1.99 or less. Like, I just add them to my Amazon list and wait to see if those prices drop, and that's just how I personally like to shop for ebooks. Of course, exceptions always come when there's maybe a favorite author or a title or something you want to support, but when I'm just perusing for books, that's really my guideline. And the last place I get free ebooks from is from NetGalley. NetGalley ebooks you do get with the agreement that you're going to be reviewing them. So I review them on NetGalley and Goodreads, and on my Instagram at Wrestling with Disney, and then I may talk about it on here too. The only times I won't talk about it or won't post it beyond NetGalley is if it's maybe not a favorable review. I don't like to put it out everywhere. I just like to fulfill the obligation and then let it go. But first, I think I'm going to talk about the Amazon books that I have gotten, because I think those are the ones where you're going to have the most access to them yourself, because not everyone is on NetGalley and not everybody has the same catalog available to them with their library. Okay, so my computer is loading up, so just give me a moment, shall you? You don't have to give me a moment, because I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this so you don't have to watch it. Oh my god, my husband ordered himself or his dad a watch for Christmas. I need to not see these things. So in order to see the backlog of the recent ebooks I've gotten from Amazon, rather than pulling up my e-reader, I'm actually going to Amazon and then to my content and devices. This also shows the library books I have rented in ebook format too. The first book I got is A Christmas Star by Judith Keim, and this book I actually received for free on Kindle. The Kindle price is free right now, so this is always subject to change. Sometimes books will be on sale for a day and then it stops, and sometimes this is an ongoing thing they do. If we were to get this as a paperback, it is $14.99, and this book I decided to get because it had, look, I won't get any book that's free, okay? You gotta have my elements. You gotta have my elements, and this one has it. All right, so we have Noelle North, whose fiance, oh, that's Buster, whose fiance left her at the altar for their Christmas Day wedding, and it's her birthday. So that happened 2 years ago. It's 2 years later, and she just feels she can't do another Christmas season at home. So she decides to rent Seashell Cottage on the coast. So like on the coast of Florida. And I'm like, that you have me at Seashell Cottage. You have me there. Like, good. Christmas cottage sold. So while she's there, she ends up meeting this little boy, his great grandmother, and she ends up discovering that his great grandmother Althea, she's being abused by her caretaker, and she ends up being the Christmas star for this family. So to me, that felt really cozy and fun. I do take Amazon reviews with a grain of salt for books. I don't necessarily always trust them, but it's 65% 5-star and 23% 4-star for a free ebook. Those are odds that I can handle. So I will link all the books I talk about down below. The next book I got is called Love at Coco Bay. It is by Kirsty McManus, and this was really maybe because it was free. It is now $3.99, and this was really a cover buy for me. I mean, look at that. So this is actually book 2 in the Coco Bay series. I find for a lot of these, you don't necessarily have to have read the original one. It is about a girl named Sasha who works at Coco Bay Resort. I'm in the hospitality industry with what I do for weddings and large venues, so I like things that kind of have that resort-like atmosphere. It's kind of on a larger scale than venues, but it's still something I really like to take in. Always so noisy outside. And this does involve a wedding plot. So Sasha and the event planner for this wedding, Dash, have to work together, and Dash does she's crushing on him, he's not picking up on it, and I guess we kind of follow their relationship through this story. So if you're interested in this title, right now it is $3.99 on Amazon. The next book I picked up when it was on a free promotion was The Brightest Star by Fern Michaels. This is The Brightest Star, a heartwarming Christmas novel. And Fern Michaels is, of course, a long-standing author. So when I see someone like that, who I already know is a trustworthy New York Times bestselling author, and it's for free, I go ahead and get it. And I kind of like to hoard ebooks, but look, when they're free, get them. This tells the story of Lauren. Her family has a small shop, but Christmas is a big part of her small shop, and big businesses are kind of threatening to ruin that business. So kind of what I was getting into with Amazon and whatnot. So Lauren has started a side hustle of writing biographies, and she's been commissioned to write the biography of somebody who owns a big conglomerate website that is putting her small shop and so many others out of business. It's hard to tell if this is necessarily going to be hate to love, but it does say that more so as Christmas comes closer, she's realizing that just her family shop isn't the only one at stake. It doesn't really say as Christmas comes closer, love is in the air. So I don't know if there's going to be a romance here or not. This one right now is $7.11 on Kindle or $7.48 on paperback. Of course, if you're going to check it out on paperback, you might want to check out bookshop.org. This one... This next one, sometimes it's like, look, when books are free and you see a fun title, you're just like, sure, take it. So this is called A Match Made in Ireland, Escape to Ireland, Book 1 by Michele Brouder. So this tells the story of Ruth, who writes happily ever afters, but she's in the midst of a breakup and feels she needs a change of atmosphere. What better than Ireland, right? And then it also tells the story of Sean Hughes. Sean Hughes needs a woman under his roof like he needs a hole in the head. So something is going to end up, bringing these two together. So fantastic. He needs cash, she needs accommodation, so I guess they're going to work this out and then fall in love all together. So that I had to get. So right now this one is still for free on Kindle, guys. So if that's interesting to you, you can check it out. Otherwise it is $12.99 for the paperback. And the next book I got on ebook was Cupcakes for Christmas by Kate Hewitt. I have to be honest, I've not read any of these Christmas books I have been hoarding yet. This one has already moved up to $3.99. However, when I got it, it was for free. It said Kate Hewitt is a top USA best-selling author, and you know, it was Cupcakes and Christmas. I mean, do I need the synopsis? Oh, so Olivia James runs a tea shop and bakery. But as Christmas approaches, this is their words, not mine, Olivia is home alone and questioning her choices while eating too many of her own specialty confections. Olivia, I feel you, girl. So then a whimsical stranger, Simon, breezes into her shop and buys a cupcake. He returns the next day and the day after and the day after. So let's see what happens between Simon and Olivia. It says Simon may be hiding a painful secret. So we'll see. That one, you know, sounded fun. Gosh, I still have more of these I stocked up on. I mean, the next book I got was The Christmas Dress by Courtney Cole. This one is currently $11.99 on Kindle and was not at the time I got it. And I could do a whole video of how I find these deals, of the different subscriptions I sign up to. I mean, it's a number of different subscription emails I get, and sometimes I just go on and search, and I'll go into a category, search low to high, and sometimes you get some gems, but you gotta know where and how to look. One dress, two women, the magic of the holiday season. That is the story of The Christmas Dress. And Courtney Cole is a New York Times bestselling author. That's really like what I like to hear when I'm seeing a free ebook. So this is a dual timeline between two girls. Not dual timeline, just a dual story. We have Ellie and Meg. Meg is coming back to her hometown after her father's passing, and Ellie is one of the residents of the building that Meg's father owns, and this dress ends up leading them to have, one of them has a magical evening of it, and it just looks like Christmas magic through this dress. I haven't read it yet, but you know, it looks promising. It definitely does. This one has 61% is 5-star ratings and 28% is 4-star. Sounds fun. So those were all the free ebooks that I got in December. I'm gonna let that be my cutoff for it. But now I'll tell you some of the rentals that I have going on currently from the library, and then I'll get into some NetGalley reads. This might be long, but you know what? That's okay. We like to talk about books, and these, since I've read them, will be much easier for me. So the first book is Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I actually got this on audiobook as well. And this is a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. This book I had to put on hold with my library in order to get it. So when it came through, even though I had some active rentals at the time, I was like, I have to start it. I don't want to delay this one. I want to read it. So far, I am about 20 to 30% through, and I am enjoying it, but the story is just starting to unfold. We are just meeting a boy named Gilded, who I think is going to be, of course, a big part of this plot. So look out for that in a future reading wrap-up to hear my accurate thoughts. The next rental I have is actually another from Marissa Meyer, and it is Winter, which is book 4 in the Lunar Chronicles. I had started picking up where I left off on the Lunar Chronicles and had recently finished Cress, and now Winter is the next one. Winter is kind of our introduction into the last main character that we get in this series. This series is a retelling of, it's not a retelling of Cinderella, but very loosely. You know, it's inspired by Cinderella and tells of dystopias and cyborgs and kind of like an alternate reality, but still very heavy on like fairy tale elements. So it's a lot of fun. And each book in the series introduces another character who is inspired by a fairy tale or fairy tale character. So in Winter, we have a Snow White character, and I am quite enjoying it. The next book I rented is 12 and a Half, Leveraging the Emotional Ingredients Necessary for Business Success by Gary Vaynerchuck. I'm a big fan of Gary V's content and his works and his beliefs. This book is very quick and very easy to read through, and so much that I was like, oh, when they tell me it's going to expire soon, I'll just finish it then. And then it expired before I could do that, so I have to re-rent it again. So that is the thing that, or the caveat with these ebook rentals, is that you only have 2 weeks for them. So you gotta prioritize. And next I'll tell you about some NetGalley books that I recently received. So the first NetGalley book that publishes this month that I got on ebook is The Entrepreneur's Guide to the Art of War by Mark Smith. So this is the original classical text, or classic text, interpreted for the modern business world. So I love getting kind of rehashings and retelling of classic texts that have lasted the test of time. Like, obviously we all know the art of war, or know of it and about it. So it's great to get that reassessed. And they say this is reassessed for the business-minded, which I think is me. So this features a lot of case studies, and I think as somebody who owns a business, it's gonna be a really exciting read for me. The next book that I got on ebook from NetGalley is Hollywood Horrors: Murders, Scandals, and Cover-Ups from Tinseltown. This is by Andrea Van Landingham. These are all real stories too, so if you like true crime, and if maybe you like getting it in kind of like the smaller format of short stories rather than one big long one, this could be a book you might want to consider. Hi, Tom.
Hi. With the fire going?
Yeah.
Plus you sitting by the fire.
The next book I got from NetGalley is called You Can Go Your Own Way by Eric Smith. I know myself, and I know that this cover is what enticed me to want to request this. So it looks young adult, you know, just from the cover. I'm like, yeah, and it is a young adult book. So, you know, that's what I'm like, please give me it. His dad had a pinball arcade, and he is trying to protect it from the person who kind of buys out all the local small shops to make big gaming stores. And everybody thinks that he is in over his head with this mission. Then there is Whitney, who is, she is the person who, that guy, I don't know, it says I ran out of space, but I don't think I did. So her dad is that guy, and she does the social media for him and his gaming cafes. So a snowstorm hits, and the two of them, Whitney and Adam, are trapped inside this arcade, cut off from their family, their world, their responsibilities. What happens? Is it going to be love? Is it going to be understanding? You know, I'm excited. This sounds really good. Reading this synopsis back, I may have to bump this up on my list. The next book I got from NetGalley that comes out this month is A Match Made in Venice, and this is by Mack, and they say it's the perfect romantic novel for winter 2021, so I guess I better read it this year. This takes place in Venice, so that's a nice setting to be in. You know, you got the boats and the water and the shops. Dee Dee is sent to Venice for a work assignment, and she needs a luxury glass blown piece done by a glass blower, Pietro, right? Piero. And Piero is, you know, he's got the blues and he's not feeling it, but there's Christmas magic in Venice this time of year, and they may get a happily ever after. So I thought this would be a good Christmas read, but of course it's December 16th and I didn't get to it yet. But that's why I'm trying to talk about some of these now, because they were November reads and I'm still getting to them. You're supposed to really review them by the time they come out. But when I first joined, which was recently, I didn't know I'd get approved for so much. So that's why I feel like these books will be attainable for you. I was able to get approved for so many of them, and that's what caused my backlog, but I am intending to get these all reviewed very, very soon. So hopefully these will be coming up on an upcoming wrap up. The next book is Never Tell a Lie by Gail Schimmel, and this one I do know I really wanted to get to because it sounded like an exciting thriller. All I really needed to hear was that we have Mary Wilson, she's a mom, you know, and she's content with her little family, and then she gets a postcard that sends, you know, her world upside down. I'm like, yes, give me it. That's all I need. I'm happy with that. And that's where I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. These were a lot of books, and this was a $0 book haul. But like I said with the NetGalley books, you know, especially with NetGalley, you don't want to request more than you can review because that is part of the agreement. So I have stopped requesting books on NetGalley so I can catch up on these reads and review them and give them the attention they deserve. But for the Amazon books, which are just books that are on sale for free, I don't mind hoarding up on those because I don't have to have that same strict timeline. So if you enjoyed this digital and free book haul, let me know and I'll do more like this in the future. Hope you guys are having a great Vlogmas. I'm posting every day on Wrestling with Disney or on this channel, Wrestling with Books. There's definitely more content on the Wrestling with Disney channel, but we're working at it here. We're getting it, guys. We're doing the damn thing. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.